for the Zoom information. So don't have YouTube open in the background while this is going on, because the sound is gonna bounce. Hi, how are you? Thanks for joining. Your name is very familiar to me.
It should be very familiar.
Yeah, like when I saw your RSVP, I'm like, yeah, finally, I'll get to put a name to a face.
You see me in February.
Oh, how are you coming? How are you coming? What's happening? School or what's
No, migration.
Yeah, awesome. So your PR thing come through.
Yeah, I thought Nick could have told you.
No, it doesn't.
All right.
So where in Canada you're gonna come and settle?
I'll be in your neighborhood.
Nice. Good for you. Yay. Yay.
All right.
Hi, Nello. Greetings to all. He or she says. Sorry, I don't know if your name is a he or a she, but welcome. Yeah. Monique, here's another long time subscriber. I think she's in Trinidad. Monique is just filtering in here. Hi, Monique. Welcome.
Hi, Christina. How are you?
Hi. Good. How are you? Thanks for joining.
Same here. I have a really bad migraine. I just came on because I had to register. I registered, so.
Oh, I appreciate you. I really appreciate you. I just wanted to be able to. What prompted this for me is one, I was listening to a podcast this week with Trevor Noah and Jay Shetty, and they were talking about, as public figures, I'm not nowhere near Jay Shetty and Trevor Noah level, of course. And I don't know if I'm trying to get there, honestly, but people know me. A lot of people know me. I don't know anybody. Same with them, right? So they would have people walk up to them and say, "Oh, hey, Trevor," and then he's like, "Hi," like I don't know you, but they know him, right? And they were saying that you go on stage and you talk to a lot of people, and I go on YouTube virtually and talk to thousands of people see my face, know me. I don't know anybody. I never see anybody. I've never interacted with anybody. I went to the beach one time in Jamaica, and this girl, oh gosh, I forget her name right now. She saw me and then she was like, "I thought it was you, and I wasn't sure until I saw the baby, and I know it's you." And I was like, "Hi." And I'm not used to walking around and people recognizing me, right? Because in Canada, that's not like, it's such a big place. Like the likelihood of somebody bumping into you is slim. So I was like, "Yeah, it's me, I guess. Hi." And he's like, "Yeah, I watch your YouTube channel." And I was like, "Oh, hey, yeah." And then it turns out like I met her again in February of this year, I think. She is like really my mom's friend sister. So my mom's friend was dropping something off at my house, at my front door. She comes out of the car and I'm like, "I've seen you before. Where do I know you from?" Yeah, we randomly met up at the beach, and it was not planned or nothing. And there she is, my mom's friend's sister. Yeah. So I mean, a lot of people know me. I don't know anybody, and I wanted to get the opportunity to see some faces, meet some people, put some faces to names, and not feel a little bit of isolation in this virtual popularity world.
I understand. I fully understand. I will put on the camera in a little while. I just need to.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna take 2 tablets and.
Oh yeah, man, no problem.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons. Yes. So I saw that. They talk to thousands of people and they don't know anybody. People know them. Yeah. And then Twitch died. And people die every day. I get it, right? People all over the world die every day and stuff like that. But Twitch's death, it kept coming up for me like almost every day. The day I found out, I kept Googling like, nah, this can't be real. There's no way this guy did that. I kept on looking for the truth because it just seemed so unbelievable. And I honestly still don't really believe that he took his life. but whatever, we'll never know. But it kind of just rung home to me that like there's just everybody's going through stuff, everybody's going through stuff in their life. And you never know how people truly are, And I think around this time of the year, I kind of want to slow down. We're going into Christmas, but also like in January, I'm moving, so I have to be packing up my life, all these things, and life is still going around, and I still have to show up, right? Or I still want to show up, rather. I'm like, man, this guy, I felt really sad about it, and then kind of just felt like to check in. How are you all doing? And also to just hope everybody's good. Like this immigration journey can be very frustrating. And there's enough times in the process where you're going to feel like you want to give up. Richard, I don't know how you're feeling right now, but I know it's frustrating.
Giving up. Honestly, that's how I feel.
I know.
I'm gonna be honest.
I know.
It's
Yeah,
a
I
lot.
know.
It's a lot.
I can. And not only can I imagine, I've lived it. Right? But I want people to be hopeful, but not for the wrong reasons, but even like just hopeful in that it's gonna work out. You know what I mean? Like, I know your wife probably can't visit now because of course a ticket is money that could be going towards school or rent or
Tuition.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
Tuition, So yeah.
That's just a struggle right there. Like to do unnecessary spending right now doesn't really make no sense, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's all it is. And the flight right now is kind of unnecessary if you really think about it. Unless it's like me coming over there,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She can only come for such a short time, right?
Yeah. And then gotta go right back to school. So it wouldn't really make no sense.
Yeah, I feel you. I know, man. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just keep
Part
on
of life,
keeping on, you know what I mean? Like it'll come through.
Yeah.
It'll come through.
I always try to.
Are
Keep
you
that positivity and that
working?
faith,
Yeah. Are you working in the meanwhile?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm off and on. Like I say, I
Yeah.
came over in July, so it's like an off and on thing right now.
Yeah.
But it's kind of doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. Keeping you busy is most important, right? Like just
Yeah, exactly.
I see a very familiar name on here. Tell you more. Are you there, sir?
Yeah, man. Bye-bye.
Let me see your face now.
My face not too pretty right now,
Your face is always pretty. Your hair is nice and bald. You don't have to worry about combing your hair.
Man.
Hair is
Never know
usually
say- Never know so this will go on else me to put on the little makeup, But
Oh,
right
please.
now.
Oh, please. So Temu, guys. Temu
All right, time for broadcasting. Whole of my life.
Temu was on here like years ago, like one of my first interviewed people. But also he was supposed to be part of my live virtual tour, the last episode with 3 people, and he wasn't able to join. And the reason I wanted Temu on there specifically is because we had a conversation about why are we still in Canada? We had that conversation, and Temu, I don't want to tell you a story for you, but if you don't tell it, then
No, man, you can chip in and I'll correct.
all right. So we're talking about, why are we in Canada still? Like Temu is a only child, kind of, yeah. And his parents now are in Jamaica. He's in Canada. He's away from his parents, away from his family. He visited Jamaica, and he just kind of like, he felt bad even leaving to come back to Canada, because you're coming back, you're kind of on what kind of feels like a hamster wheel sometimes. You're just kind of going and you don't know where you're going to. It's one thing when you're in the immigration thingy and you're trying to get citizenship or whatever, but if that's done, then what? Right? You should just like working. And I mean, of course, that's a good thing, right? And you can work towards things like owning a home or whatever. But yeah, we were just like, man, our families are away from our families. There's COVID, so everybody's kind of coming out of that isolation phase. His parents are there. He's actually in Jamaica right now. You make it? Did you make it? He left.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
luggage never quite made it, you know.
What?
Luggage get trapped.
You lie.
Yeah, so I just mean.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, all good. I think we're having some conversations about what next and stuff like that. But once you're in Canada, sometimes you feel like you're at risk. That's how it works, pay bills and things.
Yeah.
And whenever you make it home, you know, just a natural vibes,
Mm-hmm.
energy kind of different. Sometimes you really have to try, reassess, and see what's next or what's best for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I made it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And I found myself in that same place. Of course, when I did leave, I left. I packed everything up. I put everything in a storage unit and I left. I had no address. I had an address, but like I didn't know what I was going to do. Ultimately. And I never, even right now, it's kind of it does weigh on my mind sometimes because my home support is in Jamaica, you know. Also, like school fee over here is a joke. No, school fee for my kid, I mean, right? Like is university money that I try and make we pay for a 2-year-old.
Yeah, plus the supplementary things like daycare and all that.
Daycare, all that stuff. And you know, it's just like, you know, having to really assess where I'm at and where I want to be and stuff like that. For her sake too, you know, for my kids' sake too. Yeah.
So today, what is the point of today? Are you just talking or inviting people to talk or all this thing?
Yeah, this is a meet and greet for
Yeah.
me to meet people who have known me for years and I don't know anybody. I don't never see a face. So there's a couple people on here who's been with me since 2019. You know, we were talking before, like we kind of, this was the going on before I streamed it. So they were, you know, sharing me where they are at in the journey. So there are some new people that came on here. So I'm going to definitely give you guys a chance to talk. There's a Corey on here. Hi, Corey. Trying to start the process seems like a lot though. It definitely can seem overwhelming at the beginning. Where are you in the process, Corey? If you don't mind unmuting and talking, or you can type, I will read it out. Joanna, same to you. Hi, welcome. You just joined on here. Feel free to unmute. Say hi. Tell me where you're calling in from, zooming in from.
Everybody shy.
I just want to tell you thanks. I think this is a perfect opportunity to tell you thanks. I started my journey over 5 years ago.
Mhm.
And in the early days when you used to compare the various channels that we can use to apply to Canada, I downloaded the form, started trying to look at the PR process. I looked at the study process. I'd actually applied to some schools per recommendation based on what you had said on your channel. And I think I just want to give you your flowers, so to speak, because it had given me, I remember even downloading and registering for I don't know if you remember, you had an Excel sheet for the Atlantic Immigration Program
Yeah.
that had a list of jobs.
Mhm.
Yes, I still have that to this day, and I did apply to some. It didn't quite work out, but I probably hadn't done everything I needed to.
Mhm.
But the fact that you went through so much lengths, one particular video that stood out in my mind that I even used recently when I started the actual process of coming here was the one where you budgeted out all the things that you needed to apply. You budgeted the study permit, you budgeted the plane fare, the school fee, you budgeted out everything. And I was able to apply some of the principles from the various videos to apply them to my process, and I just want to thank you for that, because I know I have been on the website. It takes a lot of research, a whole lot of research. Some people may say everything is on the website, but it takes somebody who knows where to find the information, because it's not always just staring at you. So I
Mhm.
just want to give you your flowers and thank you for helping me.
No problem.
Though I'm not in Toronto, I'm in Quebec, but I think it's close enough.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful for all that you have done. Your work has not gone in vain.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And I like Rochelle now. I think I knew this before, but like I always just say Rochi. It stands out. So good for you. Right? The name. Because I know
Thank
this
you.
name. I know your
Yeah.
name from the very beginning. Like you were there was three people. I know Monique was one, you, and I think there was one, I think it's Just Life or something. I did message her and ask her to join, but she's in China.
Ah,
So her time is like, hi Monique. her time is she's like it's 3 a.m. in China or whatever. So but yeah, thank you. Thank you for subscribing and keeping the faith. Like I know that I was on
a hiatus, but we
yeah.
forgive you.
I appreciate it. You sticking around and coming and stuff like that. So
It's worth it.
yeah. I see Audra has her hand up.
Yeah, hi. So I wanted to put in my little 2 cents too. I had started my Canada journey from 2017. My father said, just do the application, you do your research, figure it out. You are able to do it, right? And started all of the online searching and all of that. And around that time, I saw that Akeem Lawrence shared some of your stuff.
Oh, okay.
So found you and I said, oh, perfect time,
Yeah.
followed everything that you're doing and looked into the Atlantic stuff and tried to be hopeful with that and tried sending applications. But I'm sure the Canadian resume, I think, is what held me back in a lot of ways for that. But yeah, been following you, supporting your thing, sharing it with other people as well, because you're really providing a lot of information that other persons on YouTube aren't really doing. They only give you little pieces and not a lot of detail. And we did our best and managed to end up in the very, very last draw for 2020.
Wow. Yeah.
So our score was 468.
Oh wow.
And we got that 468.
Nice.
And that is both of us being over 30, both of us having masters, both of us doing the English test, so very grateful for that. And we submitted everything by February. We got the nice little status bar that said, you'll get a decision by August 21. And then 2 weeks later, they take it off and said, COVID. So we've been there waiting, keep checking the website constantly. And it wasn't until probably April or so that we got a message to say, redo your medical, redo your police record.
Wow, because it expired.
Yeah, so that was annoying, but got that done. And then August, the first week of August, they sent me a message to say, give us your bank statement / pay slips for all the jobs that you mentioned 6 months. And that was stressful, but got that done. And then by the following week, they said, drop off your passport.
Nice.
So, it's a long time coming and definitely looking forward to it. And it's been good to follow what you've been doing and celebrating in the background, watching you getting your citizenship and all of that. So, yeah, looking forward to the new journey too.
Yeah, for real. Like your name is one of those names to like, especially on Instagram, because your picture is the wedding picture. So it's very distinct. I'm like, whenever I see it, I'm like, oh, I know this person. I know you virtually, right? But yeah, thank you for following along. And I'm so happy to hear that things are, coming along. And if this is any kind of, a little bit of boost for you, Richard, just a little bit of juice, so keep on keeping on. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming,
Yeah,
you
and
know?
it's not like I wouldn't say give up or anything like that. It's just the fact that the process itself, just like she said, to getting the bank statement and everything is hectic. So,
Mm-hmm.
and like I say, I haven't been over here for a period of time too. So it's like getting certain stuff done is just hectic right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Just
man.
stay
it's just a matter
positive.
of time. Just
Yeah,
a matter
man.
of time.
Just a matter of time, exactly.
Just
Yeah,
stay
that's all
positive
it
and
is.
focus on the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always try to stay positive. Might
Yeah.
sound down, but motivation wise, always there, you know?
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good, good.
Yeah,
Good.
that's
Yeah.
how it is.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so that's to SMU is kind of, yeah, giving people a chance to for their voices to be heard and to share their stories, their success stories. Corey had put some messages in the chat, you know, that he's trying to get prepared for his English test, IELTS English test, and some schools to apply. Funds are a factor. Where are you from, Corey? What country are you from? Because IELTS, before you apply for school, is specific to where you're from. I believe I didn't have to do an English test. Did you have to do an English test, Rochelle, for school?
I did actually.
Did you?
I did because I was applying to two schools in Toronto and they asked for my English test results. But I also did it because I was considering the PR option. So I had gone ahead and done it in 2019. And God would have it that like a month before it would have expired, I got through with my study permit. So it did play a factor, but now I have a friend who is in the process and he said they didn't ask for any IELTS scores. So some people might use it, but some people may not need it at all.
Yeah. And I know that does it expire like globally, or is it just immigration that doesn't take it past 2 years? I can't remember. I know they expire after 2 years. What is that?
I'm not sure. I think it's I can look at mine. I should have it somewhere close. Let me get it actually.
Yeah, I feel like it expires like, and I don't remember if that's just immigration or just in general. Gambi, you had your hand up.
Yeah. I still remember following one of your videos like 10,000 times.
Yeah, really.
When we were also waiting. Canada, when Canada say you have to wait, that means wait. So you have to be patient. Don't give yourself stress or something. I'm from French, but I don't know if my English is okay for everyone.
It's good enough.
So, okay, thank you. So what I would like to tell some of you apply to express interest, like we have been in the pool, me and my husband, and my husband is the main applicant. So Nova Scotia nominators give the nomination to all the kids, including those who were over 21. So federal reject the application when they're supposed to give us permanent place. So the mistake that I will advise anyone who is applying or waiting, never appeal. Don't appeal for the kid. They will give you a chance or an option to appeal or to proceed. Just proceed, and then you can appeal the kid after. It did took us like 8 months just for them to come back and then say, listen, we have review for your 2 kids because they are twins, over 21. It took them 8 months just to come and say, no, we cannot. They are not qualified. They are not eligible for permanent residence. So, guys, don't fall in that stretch, please. 8 months, some passports expire, some exams expire. So, don't do that mistake, please.
So what ultimately happened?
Normally, when the kid has been nominated by Nova Scotia, they suppose also they've got a nomination later. But the province, how do you call it? The province nominated by the, how do you call the main one? Where we are getting the permanent residence from
Express entry.
there is provincial and there is
Federal.
The federal.
Yes, the federal. When it comes to give us the permanent residence, they say no, we cannot give, even though the kids have been nominated as well by the province. So be careful, federal. The province can be very good enough, but the federal can cost you money. And at the end of everything, say no, they cannot review, and then they cannot get the permanent residence. So if it can, in that case, like if you have kids over 21 and then they've been rejected by federal, just proceed and leave them behind. You can put them after.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you're saying process, continue with your application as primary applicants and then deal with the kids after. But are they kids at 21? Like at 21, that's an adult. No.
Yes, but after we get your permanent residence and visa, the program M1. But after it's like, no, you're allowed not to sponsor your kids. What is the point? After making us wait and delay and everything, they give us you can now sponsor your kids.
So then after you come and then you'll deal with the kids. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Perfect. Okay. Thanks for sharing, Gambi. Thanks for sharing. So Corey said he's from Jamaica, but he's working in Cayman. He reached out to Paul as well and he gave him some pointers and options. Just need to do the groundwork and then I'll reach back out to Paul at Kenny's Concepts. Yeah, I did invite Paul on here, but like it was short notice when I told him, and he had plans, right? Which I understand. So maybe another time. Any suggestions on future content? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? And so I don't know if you guys saw, so I've thrown that question out there, then you can definitely respond, but I'm just wanting to welcome Michael. Michael is joining he's in Mauritius, so it's like midnight. What time is it, Michael? Like 1 a.m.?
Hold on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see you
It is midnight.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I'm late, but I had to give a webinar myself on Indonesians tonight. It was like scheduled for 9 p.m. local time here, which was supposed to last till 11 p.m. So I thought I could then spend some time working until midnight and then join you on time. But as a matter of fact, the thing lasted 3.5 hours. So I just got out of the other thing. And that's the reason I'm late. So I do apologize.
No problem. No problem. It's open concept. Michael, guys, was on with me last week, Sunday, for the resume webinar, right? And he and I have an actual, so there's one that's coming up in January 7th, which is a smaller group, because that one was just streamed live on YouTube. It was just me and Michael and people can chat, but we're going to have like one where just like on Zoom here, where we can come in together and we can go through your resumes together, give you pointers as to how to improve your resume. Because like, I think Audra said it too, about the Canadianizing your resume and just preparing your resume if the Atlantic Immigration Program or whatever program within Canada works for you, then this webinar on January 7th is the one where there's going to be only 12 spots, right? Where you come in. I think it's like $24. I don't remember now.
$24.90. Yes.
$24.90, right? Because of course, like, Michael is a professional and he's giving his professional advice and you want to respect his time and everything. So, sorry, I was just reading a comment there. So, jump in, it's only 12 spots. And it's a one-on-one, and I'm pretty sure it will be extremely helpful. You're going to say something, Michael?
Yes, I just wanted to add that the fact that there are other participants is
Yeah.
not a drawback. So I have to share my time with the others, and then basically it's 90 minutes, but then divided by 12. How many minutes are actually left over for my 24.90? No, this is not the way you have to see it, because there's a reason why we designed it like that. You will profit from the answers to the questions of the other participants as much as to the direct ones, to your own questions. And the reason why this is, a lot of questions are similar, so it doesn't matter who asked them. You will, if you understand the comment about a particular aspect given to someone else's resume, then you will also have understood immediately what it means to your document and what you need to do to fix it. So it's actually nice if you don't hear like a couple of people talking about the problems in your document for 90 minutes, so it can get frustrating. It's actually nice if they change quickly to some other documents and ruin them as well. So you profit from the fact that the questions are similar, and also even more so from the fact that someone else may have an aspect in his or her resume or ask a question that is relevant to you, but you have not come up with it. So you have not thought about it yet. And then the moment the person asks the question or we talk about it, you realize that if it had just been you would have missed that particular aspect because you wouldn't have asked and it's not in your document, so we may not have discussed it. So it's actually not only cheaper, but it's also more valuable input for your work, for your own work on your own document, than if you would just spend the time like a 90-minute session with just the two of us or me alone. Okay, so if you want to work with a coach by yourself, then you actually do it in a different way, because then you work over a certain period of time. So you spend a session, let's say 160 minutes with the person, you talk about all your things. If you then miss something that the coach didn't pick up and you didn't ask, it's not a problem because it will come up at a later stage. So in this case, you're not going to miss it either, but then this is a real coaching situation, and that handles the basically the order differently. So therefore, for a one-time webinar, doing it in a group is the maximum or the best way for you to get to get something in return for your time and for your money.
Yes. So, yeah, and it won't be streamed on YouTube or anything like that. It's just completely private. So you can share your resumes and stuff like that and not be worried about your information or anything. And I think it's going to be helpful. And this is just a start. Like the first one is on the 7th, and then we'll do more as time goes along, as the need sees fit. So feel free to unmute, Joanna.
Hi.
Hi.
Everybody. Hi. Well, I was connected earlier, but I was having some issues, so I was just seeing mouths moving and
oh no,
hearing much. But I'm here now.
Yes, no problem.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. Thank you for joining. All right. So I had thrown a question out. Rochelle, I feel like you were probably answering, but I wasn't sure. I think you're unmuted. Yeah. For future content. So I'll let you go, and then I will read what's in the stuff.
I had placed the idea in the chat. I was saying you could consider doing content on seeking housing, because when I came here, that was one of the things that was a bit hard for me. Like understanding, and I did some research, but there wasn't much in my language on how to identify like 1.5 houses. What does that really mean? Or a 2.5, or what is really involved in the rental process. There are some landlords who they're seeking for your bank statements, your house, your land, your car, everything, all the information. So it would be good, like things to consider, especially for probably like me. You're coming from a Caribbean country, a tropical country. You're not considering heating. Should heating be a part of the rent agreement? electricity? How does that work? So, because it's a different paradigm shift. So that would be a good idea to look into that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Even
And
blood
you're the
type.
second person who said that. Sorry, Richard, you were saying something, sorry?
No, it's in the comment that Samuel wrote just now. He said he even asks a blood type sometimes.
Yeah. They want everything, man. They want to ask you everything. And this is actually even like, even if you're not coming from a Caribbean country, renting can be like a bother. Like, because I'm moving in January, right? So I just had to go through the process. And I don't have time to like to do it for so I understand the stresses of having to figure it out. So that's definitely something I want to get into to help people to figure out how do you find somewhere from out of the country, right? And how do you vet that place? Because I had two friends, family friends who came here. I didn't even know they were coming. They found some place to live. They paid the money, all that stuff. They felt good about it. They got a legitimate landlord document and everything. And then they were like, when they got there, it was bad. And they had told the land people like, no, this is not what you advertised. It was like community living, which you weren't expecting. A shared bathroom, everything like that. And then you were like, no, this is not what we really thought. And the person was like, well, you pay the money already, so and if you stay, you'd forfeit any right to a refund or anything like that. So no, they had reached out to my mom, and then my mom reached out to me, and then that night we were just like scrambling trying to get them somewhere to stay for that night. And that was a time when there was like quarantine in place, 2 weeks quarantine. So anywhere you go, you have to stay there for 2 weeks, right? So we had a friend who was renting their place. So we got them there, and then they had to go back and forth. I don't even know if they got their money back, right? But that what you brought up, Rochelle, and somebody actually brought it up on YouTube too. I would like for you to go over content about how a person's living outside of Canada to get an apartment to rent before arrival. It's a big deal. So definitely, I'll definitely work on that.
Yeah.
And work
It
on
is, yeah, because I remember just quite recently, I wanted to move in June or July closer to school. And I saw some nice places advertised for student housing too, eh? And when I went to the place, it was like a matches box. And I was like, no, not for $700. We're not living in this matches box, sharing everything. Some of the rooms did not have any windows. And their advertisement for the nice room is the balcony. But then they're literally splitting like a living room area in half for the living room and half for the new room with the balcony. And so the balcony is the wonderful thing that they're no. So it's pretty hard. Kijiji is hard too because you don't know who is who, and it is quite hard to decipher and be safe to rent from like Kijiji. So it can be quite difficult, but I'm glad I found a good place.
Yeah, I kind of just resorted to going back to the building I used to live in before COVID. I just went back to there because I knew there, but I can, and I'm here. So imagine people who aren't here. So I totally get that green footprint and rotate is definitely, I've copied, I've noted it down so that it's definitely future content because I know the struggle. When I move, finding a place is one thing. Finding an affordable place is the next thing. Right? Rent is for real up there. All right. Here's a question. Could you look at the topic of packing and shipping things to Canada? Right? Because you're moving your life, right, Audra? Maybe some people from shipping companies can talk about it and the importance of accompanying other items. Yeah. Because if you're moving, right, with the house, land, and car, okay, maybe not the house or the car, but you're moving with a lot of stuff. How do you get it there? All right. So I put that down here. Okay, Temu. Thanks for joining, Temu. I appreciate you.
Yeah, guys. Sorry, I have to run. But
Yeah, man.
all the
Thanks
best.
again. Yeah, thanks for coming on. Here's Basil. I know that name too. Basil, are you joining us on? Basil, join us on Zoom. Here's the link. The link is above here. This name is familiar. Hello, Christina. I've been following and supporting your YouTube channel. I think you are in the neighboring regions. I'm in New York region. Very happy for you all. I'm settled, but here for support. Awesome, Basil. So he's in New York region, in Toronto area. Yeah. Derisan, I'm hoping I'm saying that right. I don't know if I'm saying that. Drisan. That's right, right?
Yes, Tristan.
Woohoo! Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining. Feel free to chime in. Tell us where you're from, and share a little bit about your immigration story. Whatever you feel comfortable sharing, rather.
Sure. Well, I've been one of your silent followers. I've been following you since 2020, watching your videos.
Thank you.
And one thing I can say is I feel like it was a sign when I found you, because we went to the same schools, high school, university. Okay, in the same industry. I'm okay, yeah, I was supposed to find her. I'm currently doing a 1-year program here in Canada. So I'm in Canada. I'm from Jamaica. And I'm about to enter my internship section of my studying.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
that's it.
Nice. What are you studying, if you don't mind?
Project management.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Are you finding co-op opportunities easily?
Well, at the moment, no. My school is helping, and in one part, but it's not really been that fruitful. And then I'm also looking on my own, also not that fruitful. So I'm just waiting. Hopefully I'll get one before January so I can do the internship.
Yeah. And what's the industry that you're looking in?
So I did my undergraduate in real estate management. So I'm more focused in real estate development, construction, and that's so.
So you know what? There's this company called Stantec, STANTEC. I'll put it in here because I saw the most random thing that they were posting so they have job opportunities on their website. And one of them is a real estate project manager. Now, of course, the co-op is not going to go into that position, but maybe they have opportunities in that field for co-op students. So I'll just drop it in the chat. The company is Stantec.
Okay, yes, sorry.
And yeah, you can look into that. I don't know if that will be fruitful, but I came across them recently and saw that, and that came to mind when you said real estate and project management. So, well, yeah, good luck. Thanks for joining, and thanks for following me for the number of years that you have been and keeping the faith.
Thank you.
Thank you too. Charnette. Okay. Thank you, Rochelle. Charnette, feel free to chime in. Tell us where you are, where you're from, your immigration journey. In the meanwhile, you can just unmute whenever you feel like. Another topic idea is a 40-hour work week for international students. That's definitely something to talk about because I have mixed feelings about it. I definitely have. I know I think it sounds glittery, but I feel like it's you go to school for full time. Where are you going to find 40 hours to work plus do that at the same time? Feel free to chime in, Rochelle. Feel free to chime in and tell me. You're a student right
now. I'm laughing because I just sent off an email this week because where I work, we don't have consistent hours. It's an invigilator job, so I don't have consistent hours. So now that it is finals for this particular university and I am out of school because my thing is different, I can work 40 hours. I can, not up to 40, but I can work over the 20, but they don't want to allow me because they don't have proof of, they don't have verification that I am not a full-time student as we speak Monday morning.
Oh.
Because for them, school ends on the 24th, I think is Wednesday. But for me, I finished on Friday. So that's a little technical issue. But I think there are others like that where you might get a 16-hour work week. consistent, and you may be able to pick up like a 5 hour or a 3 hour extra shift somewhere else. So it would benefit you in that manner rather than having a consistent 40-hour work week.
Right.
So being over the 20 helps.
Helps.
So, but I think there's still some things that they haven't figured out, like how will employers know or be sure of the difference between working on campus and working off campus. There is still a bit to be deciphered there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess like I like how you put that, 40 might be a bit much, but over 20 is helpful.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I like that.
Especially when minimum wage is like 14 point something. Yeah, it definitely helps.
I feel like either Monique or Gambi, somebody had their hand up and then it's gone away. I'm not sure who. Yeah, man, put up your hand, man. Or yourself.
No, I'm still around. I don't know.
Okay. I feel like Monique had her hand up. But
Yeah, well, hi. Well, I didn't really talk earlier on, and like some people here, I've been following Christina since way back, right? So I think since you were going to Brown, right? And I've learned a lot from you in those days. It was pretty early for me. Still was hoping that things would have worked out back then. I'm still not in Canada just yet, and so many things have happened. One of them being my father just passed away. So many things. Finances as well, but I've done a lot of research and so in a few months I'll be in Canada though. I'll be going to school, back to school.
It's okay. Part of the process.
At age 50.
Yeah. You're never too old to learn something new. It's okay.
Of course, so I have no problems with that, So I just thought about it, and which a lot of people don't have content about, is, in terms of more mature people going back to school, and even, it doesn't have to be anybody my age group, but it have people in their 30s, in their 40s who haven't been to school in a while, and perhaps maybe you could create content. Oh, by the way, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. I apologize. Yeah, so maybe you could create content around that in terms of, how do you, after you've been away from school for such a long time, how do you now recondition your mind or prepare yourself to go back into a phase of studies, especially and to succeed at it, right? So that's a thought. I just thought about that. Of course, the moving and stuff it's pretty good. I mean, just recently, because I'm going to Alberta, and someone reached out to me, and I was actually thinking about renting in the area where I'm going, and I mean, the average cost of rental there, for pretty good places, it's like $1,300, $1,200, and you could go upwards, right? But I discovered that the school have these townhouses, so like single families, like for families, and then they have for like single people if you want to like rent with other students, and then you have the dorm rooms, right? And so when I discovered that and I looked through, they have this virtual tours for the, because I'm coming with my son. I mean, the townhouses, it's not like up to date in terms of like stainless steel appliances, but it's good enough in terms of, I think they have it in excellent condition. And your rent is like under $1,000. Like, that is awesome. It cut my budget by half, actually, for the 2 years that I'll be there. And so, maybe you can also look and to see what the school have in terms of, because I know other people did that as well, and they're pretty good. They go there, they're pretty good. So
That's good.
yeah, so maybe other people could look into those things, because the rent would be cheaper for the students based on what the school have to offer. Yeah.
And I feel like there's like a level of comfort in knowing that if the school is kind of suggesting it, then it's probably vetted, it's probably not shady, or it's not a scammer or something. So that's helpful.
You have to apply for it. You have to apply to the school for the housing, and you show them certain documents, and you're good to go.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah,
Thanks for
what's
sharing.
meaning that you have to have your acceptance letter. You show them that you're a student and so forth.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Thanks for sharing that. That's a good idea. And on the topic of mature students, I don't remember when I was talking to my dad about going back to school, and he's like, no, I would fall asleep. He's like, I would fall asleep in the class. So I understand. I understand. Roshi?
I wanted to ask Monique a question, if you don't mind. I wanted to know if for health insurance, if you had to have some level of insurance before, if the school rather required insurance before you could complete your registration with them.
For living or for?
Overall, because when I was applying, they said that I had to have a travel insurance, and they wanted proof that I had purchased that travel insurance before they kind of accepted me into the school. I thought it was weird, but I was like, insurance, I would benefit from it anyways, so I still got it. So I just wanted to know if that's a unique experience I have, or if that's general.
But I must say that is unique, because the college that I applied to, they're not asking for that. However, you once you're going to, depending on the length of studies that you're going to do, that it comes with insurance for you. But if you have any other family member, you then have to purchase separate insurance for that family member. So you will be covered for like health insurance if you have a doctor visit. I think eyes. I can't remember what else. Something else. If you want to do a massage and all these things, you're covered for that by the school. But that, you would have to purchase your own insurance. So that's something that I have to do separate for my son. Yeah.
Yeah, and my experience was
by the way, school that if anyone is looking for a school, Piano College is a school that I'm attending, and their school fees is pretty good. They are situated in Fort McMurray in Alberta, and it's pretty good. And they have a community of, well, I guess Caribbean people, but more of them is from Jamaica. And I was talking to this Jamaican guy. He's the one that actually contacted me about the housing, and he was saying, like, because also Christina, that's a good topic. I mean, not everybody is in a position in terms of purchasing stuff, like in terms of purchasing a bed. You don't know what everybody's process is different. You don't know what they're coming with, if they have enough money to do certain things, right? But I've realized that in Canada, I mean, in Trinidad, it's not like that. In Canada, when you go to purchase these things, you have to build it up on your own, right? And I'm not that savvy. So I was talking to him about this, but seeing that be one topic in terms of housing. And I asked him, and he said, you don't need to worry about that. As he said, because he said the community of people in Fort Mac, they look out for each other there.
That's good. That's good.
He said if he doesn't have the time to build it up for me, he will get somebody to do it. So it's always good to wherever you're going to look to see, if you have a community in those areas, So if anyone is looking for a school, look at Keanu College in Fort McMurray.
Can you spell that?
Fort McMurray, Fort.
No, the college name, sorry.
Okay, it's a Keywano. Yeah, Keanu. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. The area is pretty, around winter time, it's pretty cold. It can get cold, right?
Canada is cold, guys.
Right.
But Canada is cold. And I heard somebody said in their statement, there's no such thing as cold, but it's what you're wearing, right? And I have a lot of Canadian friends in Canada that was born in Canada. And one of the things they always tell me, most immigrants do not dress properly.
Mhm,
I agree.
And that's why they complain about it,
mhm.
right? About the coldness. So that's something that we need to be listened about,
Mhm.
dressing for the weather. But in Fort Mac, it is so beautiful. You have the opportunity to experience the Northern Lights. That's something that's on my bucket list that I'm excited to experience.
Oh yeah.
So many other things, right? So,
Mhm.
take a look at the college and see what they have to offer and see if it would be a great fit for you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks for sharing that.
You're
And I know
welcome.
there's somebody on here, Charnette, who she's new. She lives in Jamaica, I guess new to maybe the immigration process. So if you're looking for somewhere to go to school or looking where to start, there's a pointer there, where a school that you can look at and what the fees are like. So it is Keywano, Keywano College in Alberta. I wanted to the Northern Lights too, so hopefully I get there. and I don't know if you know Demar, this other another YouTuber who
I'm so happy for them. They got their PR, but sometimes just be care.
yes,
Their process. I pray for them. I mean, for everybody, all immigrants, we are all on the same journey, no
Mhm.
matter what part of the journey that you're on. It is tiresome. We would experience some setbacks, and some people would never
Mhm.
experience the setbacks, right? Or the delays. But if it is a dream that you have inside of you to see change and to experience more, or you feel that you want more for your life, you would never give up.
Mhm.
And there are times you might feel depleted, or there are times that you might feel or experience everybody living outside of the country calling me at this time, which is straight. Yeah. So there are times you might feel depleted, or you might feel, discouraged, by some factor in the journey. But throw it off, take it off of you and look at where the finish line, hold that up front, because we would make it,
Mhm.
there are many times I felt like I just fell back. I mean, like all in earlier days with Christina, I thought I would have been in Canada a long time. All that time I was like 46 or so, 47, somewhere around there. But look at me, I just turned 50 and I'm still here in Trinidad. But it's coming to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm happy for you because I know your name, Monique H, from a long time in a blue dress or blue something in blue. That's the picture that you had up, and I'm so happy to hear that finally. And I'm glad you never gave up. And that's you'll have a story to share.
I can't. It's not just for me. It's for my son as well, and for me. I mean, just a little because you said it's a meet and greet, yeah. For me, my little backstory, I mean, I was someone I used to earn a lot of money, between 18, 30 something thousand a month here in Trinidad. But when you experience things like politics and people out, yeah. I have had people did some really unjust things towards me. And I've lost everything. And even, going through the process, sometimes when I think and I look back, I ask God all the time, why? But then I have to why not me? Because there must be something greater. And so, So I lost everything, and then just going through the process, and it wasn't for my son. He sometimes, when I think about him, it brings me through. It gives me hope. That God gives me the hope, right? But it's to keep that that goal ahead, and just keep going forward. Yeah. So for me, I just want to start all over.
Yeah.
Because even family members, some family members who I used to help a lot, figure that, I don't have anything, so they don't want me around them. Friends that I've been around and helped also, they too, so all the people, but I'm so thankful because now who are the people around you, right?
Yeah.
So I'm really thankful for the process, and God knew better. So now me starting over, you're starting on with a different mindset perspective and the people who are around you, then you know exactly how to move, building back up, because building back up, it's my ultimate intention, and it would happen, right? But I know God, this move for me is, I know it's a God thing. And so it would happen, but everything is also in God's timing. In my so this for me, I'm gonna shut up now.
No, man.
What I would say before I leave, for everyone in the process, talk to God, whether or not you know him or don't know him. Talk to him in the process and everything, even how you feel, because he is the burden bearer and he's the answer of all prayers. Yeah. Thanks for allowing me to speak.
No problem, and thanks for sharing too. And like you said, that you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience now, right? So you can level up, all of us. Me too. I feel like I've been here, and I feel like this is like a new beginning for me with school fee, all these things I have to be thinking about, and I've to think about it my whole life. So yeah. Well, so thanks for sharing. I see Basil is on here, but I don't think he has audio, so I don't think we're going to hear from him. I think I did reach out to everybody, and then some people have had to come and leave, and that's cool. A couple of announcements. So January the 7th, we have a live resume workshop. The link is on my website, in my bio, on Instagram, all over the place. Go RSVP, take advantage of this, guys. Like a one-on-one session will probably cost 10 times the amount, and then we're getting the benefit of a group session from Michael for $24.90. So if you're not in the place where you're doing a resume right now, send it to somebody who you think would benefit from it, right? So that's 1. 2, everybody who is on here today, so right now I'm running a promotion for my book. I just had the audiobook completed, so the audiobook is now live on Audible. So I'm running thank you so much, a promotion for reviewers, early readers, so to speak, or early listeners to the audiobook, for you guys to get the ebook and the audiobook. And in exchange, if you guys could leave me a review on Amazon, I would be most grateful for. So everybody's on here. I think if you RSVP, I'm pretty sure I've seen most of your RSVP. That will come out to you in an email with all the information as to where to access that stuff. I will be moving. So I'm packing now, and I'm moving in January. I'm moving to Ajax. No, I'm not leaving Canada yet. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just moving from one city to the next. My lease here is up, so I'm moving somewhere else. And maybe I'll do an apartment tour. I don't know. It's like a mattress box, Roshi. Compared to what you're paying for, it feels like a mattress box, because I'm right there, house money. But anyways, so the next video is going to be on January the 7th. Right, when we have the live with Michael, and then I'll come on the 8th, which is the Sunday. And the list of jobs to Atlantic Canada is coming back, so I'm working on it. So it's one thing to help you with a resume. Here's a list of jobs. Here is a professional to help you with your resume, right? And a nice package coming together to give you guys a holistic plan of action to come to Canada, if for anybody who's interested in Atlantic Canada. Yeah, I think those are all the announcements, so to speak. I do have to wrap it up. I have to get to church and I have to get my clothes together. But I appreciate everybody. It's so good to see your guys' face and meet you guys for real and hear your voices and talk to you and talk back to me. I might do this more often for real. I took all the suggestions as to future content. I put it in a document over here, and I will be working on that in the coming year. I think the apartment tour would probably be helpful, given the rental suggestions idea. Apartment tour and what rent is like and what the expenses, because stuff is real. You unmuted, Rush.
I was just gonna say that if there's anybody who is fluent in French, Quebec is looking for persons to come to Canada, and they're looking for, I think the news said about 500,000 French. I know they implemented a program the other day that has some people like myself who don't know French and goes to an English private school that we have to complete before next year, or postgraduate work permit is on the balance. So they are looking for French people. So if you do know French, Quebec they have good schools here. You have McGill, you have some other smaller institutions. You have Concordia. I think Dawson is here as well. So that is an option that persons can look into. If you don't know French, Quebec offers free French classes. And you get a stipend for French classes from the government. So that is something to consider if you are in that region or if you're considering coming to Canada.
Cool. Gambi, I think you said you were French. Were you French speaking?
Yes. Yes, I'm French from DXC, but I've been living in South Africa more than 20 years. So unfortunately for me, even when there is opportunity like that, my job is like licensed. I'm a nurse.
Okay.
So I was planning, once I'm in Canada, I have to go back to school, refresh, then start working. Monica, you're not all the whatever now. Age doesn't matter. Enjoy your school, go back to school and be positive.
Thank you.
I've got kids who already done their university like undergraduate, but I'm so positive also. I'll go back. Thank you so much, Richie, for the information. Yeah, thank you so much.
Christina?
Yeah.
I just thought about something. It would be also nice for probably if you could put together 1 or 2 videos with testimonials of individuals. Probably like one person, like if you could get a few persons to record their experience, their journey, and make it more inspirational for the people that is to come. It helps other people. Yeah. So just a thought.
Just making notes here. Yep. Perfect.
I have something I wanted to ask you. I remember, I don't know when it's starting though. I remember New Brunswick have critical workers program that's starting up. I don't know when exactly is it starting up. Do you know the exact date or the timing?
No, but I'm Googling it right now. I don't know. Oh,
yeah,
pilot program, like a worker pilot program?
Yes, it is. It's for like critical workers, plumbers, electricians, stuff like that.
Oh, okay. I don't, but I can find out. I mean, that's in
but
the Atlantic region. It looks like they've announced.
Yeah.
There's like immigration is going to be constantly changing. Like they're changing express entry now, so I'm going to have to learn about that.
And there's one for IT professionals too.
Yeah, I think I saw one for IT professionals too.
Okay.
But critical program, they say it's only 5 businesses that could hire people. I think JD Irvin was one.
Yep.
I forget the other set, but JD Irvin was one. To be honest with you,
I see it here. I see it here. They announced it on
McCain's Food, I think, something like that.
McCain Food, JD Irvin, Imperial
Yeah,
Manufacturing, Group
yeah,
Westco,
yeah.
Group Savion, something, Cook
Yeah.
Aquaculture Inc.
Then they said that's a 5-year program.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Thanks for bringing that up.
Just to put it out there,
Yeah. Where is your wife again? In
New Brunswick.
BC, right?
Yeah. No, New Brunswick, NB.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, information. Good. You guys should start a YouTube channel. We should get together.
Yeah, I guess it's just so much research.
I know.
What?
All right. So we're going to wrap up. I don't know if anybody wants to chime in or share anything more. Joanna, I know you said your PT said hi and you never really got to say anything else. It's okay, no pressure. But if you want to, now's the time.
Okay, hi again. What can I say? I mean, I recently started following you, Christina.
Thanks.
It's just a matter of wanting a change. That's my reasoning. My husband and myself. You know, you've been in a job for like almost 10 years and it's going nowhere, you know? So
have we been emailing?
Huh?
Have we been emailing?
Yes.
Okay, Joanna Lewis.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay,
cool.
Yes.
I'm like, wait a second.
Right. Yeah, that's me. So yeah, so it's fairly new in terms of the process. We've been looking into the Atlantic Immigration Program. It's been a bit daunting, watching videos and stuff and the application process, but grateful for what I have learned so far. Even the last session with Michael, I did see where I could do some improvements on my resume. Yeah, so it's as I have heard, it's a process. It's a process, and you can't get too wary. You just have to keep the destination at hand and just keep that as your goal and your focus. And so yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say now. And
I'm glad you came on here because we're supposed to get together, right? I'm just trying to work. I was supposed to have wisdom tooth extraction on Friday, guys. I was sitting in a dentist chair and he was pulling on my tooth and then he was like, why are we taking this out again? And I'm like, we're half, like, you've started, like, what's happening? And then he's like, it's really hard. It wasn't coming out. So he would have had to cut it up and whatever. And this is a random, sorry, off tangent. I was just like, this was like, I've just been scheduling my life around that whole thing and it didn't even happen. So we have to get together, Joanna. I'll email you back and just supply you with the resume course. That's one of my beta students, Michael.
Right.
And you know, hopefully you can join us on the 7th to get that live feedback from Michael regarding your resume and your husband's resume as well. If you want to just have one spot, I think we can allow that for both of you to have the resume in there. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, it was nice meeting everybody. I do have to wrap up and head to church, like I said. I appreciate you guys for being on here. You guys will get emails from me with the book and the audiobook and all these things. I appreciate you. And I'll see you on the 7th, and maybe on Instagram I'll share my apartment or whatever. I'm not promising anything. I'm busy. I'm moving. I got a 2-year-old, all these things. Audra, nice to meet you finally in for real. And when you come to Canada, I'm sure we'll meet in person. And maybe hopefully we'll have a meet and greet, one big meet and greet in person, right? All right, thank you guys so much. And I'm going to end the live stream. And then I'll end here on Zoom. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good rest of your Sunday.